I've enjoyed it. I think it's been really good. I just had a family come yesterday to the church that I connected with, which was cool. On average, I got probably like, I want to say maybe 10 leads a week
Okay.
that I'm like interacting with, people planning visits and stuff. A
Okay.
lot of them have had some sort of struggle, divorce, they're in a hard relationship, they're walking through grief. That's a lot of it. I do have, one cool story that I had a guy that I interacted with, and his name was Armando, and I sent him a video, and he's just like, "Oh, thanks, Pastor. Thank you so much for praying for me. I need all the prayers I can." And I was like, and I sent them then another personal prayer, like, "Hey, man, I don't know what you're going through." And he was just like, "Oh, I'm just so lost. I need Jesus. Like, I'll be there, Pastor." And he showed up, and I knew it was him. Like, I didn't never saw his face, but he was sitting in the back, and he just had that look, and I was like, "Armando?" And he was like, "Yes." And I went and gave him a hug, and it was before the service. So I was like, "Hey, dude, after the service, let's pray." And he's like, "Okay." He's like already in tears. So then after the service, came back, sat with them for a bit, heard what was going on, just a lot of like going through a hard relationship. Um, you know, had been drifting away from Jesus, and so we prayed, and then I gave him a next step, which was to get into a men's group. And then from there, he basically was like, I texted him as a follow up because he showed up, right? So I put him in the attended bucket. "Hey, Armando, so glad you came. What'd you think?" He's like, "I loved it. Thank you so much, Pastor. It's exactly what I needed. I love my new church." That was like
Oh,
his words. And so like since then, he's been like coming. He doesn't come every week, but he comes pretty frequently. He comes almost every week to the men's small group. He's putting in prayer requests, and he's just now immersed in the culture and the community of the church. And it's cool just to see that the Lord like using it. So I'll often use that story of like Armando's life being impacted and changed through our experience here, and yeah, so there's lots of those stories that are happening. I just think like maybe there's a, you know, I feel like that there's a lot of opportunity, and either we're not seizing it, the percentage of people who are engaging with this that aren't coming. And I don't know if that's partially the ones who are on our like our model side, like because we're a video model. So I pastor every other area but the pulpit. And so I only preach like 4 or 5 times a year. And so I don't know how much of that is feeding into it, like our on our side, um, what they're looking for. But I know the ones that are hurting and they find community, they're staying and they're getting connected.